And I do want to ask you more about the initial fleeing of Vietnam. Was the goal to go to the United States, America, or was the goal just to leave Vietnam and go to any other country? What was the main deciding end goal?
Yeah, I think that at that point we don't have a main destination in mind. We just escape and then we'll think about it. Escape. Whoever wanna take us in, we'll go with that country. Yeah, as long as we leave Vietnam, we're safe. That's what was the part process of my mom and dad.
And so with that thought process, you guys ended up in Thailand, but obviously now you're in the United States. I want to know more of that transition from the Thailand. How did you end up into the United States?
Um, okay, so when we go to Thailand, we went and they process the paperwork for us. They ask us who do we know in the foreign country, and we my dad said he has an uncle who escaped and he's in San Jose, and so that's why my uncle sponsor us to go to San Jose, California. And the reason why my uncle was in San Jose is because when he escaped and he got to the Malaysia, he got to Malaysia, but refugees camp, not Thailand. We end up in Thailand, but they did end up in Malaysia. So when he got there, he he had a judge from San Jose, California, sponsor his family as a charity into the United States, San Jose, California. That and then he turned around and sponsor us and the rest of his brother and sister. That's why we all end up in here.
Great, and um, more so on that path to America. Uh, were you guys applied? Did you guys apply make an application? Did you have to go through a resettlement process in which you had to learn English before arriving to the United States? I will just open it.
Yeah,
How would you explain that?
yeah. So so of course the paperwork was done. You know that we have to process. They process the paperwork, asking our family history, brother and sister, how many brother sister my dad have, and then we list out everyone names, all my relative name, and they process the paperwork. They check the background, I think, and then that was their part, that their requirement that they have to do. All we do is follow whatever they want us to do. So they ask the question, we give them the answer, but we don't know how to fill out the application. They do that. They ask the question, we answer. Anyway, so because they have the school for us in the refugees camp, and that school they teach us like a regular school, math, language, English. So we learn a little bit of English, but the real training doesn't begins until we come to the Philippines. After we stay in the CQ camp, right? And then we're waiting for the either United States, Australia, or any other country who come and interview us. Once we got accepted by a country, then they move us to another camp. Okay, so after my paperwork was done, and my uncle sent the paperwork to sponsor us, the U.S. embassy interview us and make sure everything was aligned, make sure that he's my the uncle was my brother, my father's brother. Every paperwork is done. Then he said, okay, I accepted you to enter into the United States. And then they move us from the CQ camp into the Banat Nikom camp. And then the Banat Nikom camp is a camp that we wait another 6 months until we go to the Batang camp, which is in the Philippines. When we got from the Banat to the Batang camp is a really training place before you go to the America. So in the Baton camp in Philippines, we learn English. My dad go to school every day for the 6 months he was there to go to learn English, and we learn English. Make sure that we go to school and learn English there. That's all we do. I remember staying in Baton for like 6 months, and all we do is learn English so we can pick up the life in America easier.
That's great to hear that the transition process, they prepped you for it. I
Yeah.
would like to know more about your personal thoughts about leaving Vietnam. Just to wrap this up, like, what did you think about what you left behind, and especially like, did you miss anything about Vietnam compared to these other
Mm.
experiences you had?
Uh, I guess that I was too young to remember what what I would have missed in Vietnam, because I was a kid, 9, 10 years old kid. I mean, I don't know a lot about the country I left behind. The only thing that feel bad was that, and we sad, is that my mom was still behind. That's the only thing that we were sad about. We left my mom behind. We don't know when we're gonna see my mom again. Me, my sister was like 6 years old. I'm like 9, 10. So we're like kids, and we said, "Oh my gosh, man, my mom loved us very much. She took care of us. She's a very good mother." Anyway, so that's the only thing we miss our mom. And the times that we are from refugee camp to refugees camp, it was fun. It was life was hard, but it was like, you're a kid, you don't know much, you don't think about the future that much to be worried about it. So, but I remember I have this thing. I have this thinking in my mind at that time that when I come to America, life must be great. I will live in this big, huge house, and with two story, with a big staircase, and I would wear this long gown, like the one that they see in the movie at the English people who wear the big dress. I think that once I come to America, I would live in a mansion, and I would wear the long, beautiful dress that drag on the floor. I would walk up into the stairways. I would be very, very, life would be very great. That's what I think before I come to America. When I come to America, reality hit. Me, my mom, me, my dad, my brother, and my sister, the four of us rent one room in a two-bedroom apartment. It was like a 9 feet by 9 feet. All we need, all we did was squeeze two queen bed in that room. I don't know whether it was a queen or four, because that time I don't know the difference between a four and a queen. But one bed was for me and my sister. One bed is for my brother and my dad. And we would, if we put the two bed into one small room, it fill up all the room. There's nothing else. And one radio. We have two bed, one radio. The radio, we would put the cassette tape in there, and then I would have 1 hour to listen to whatever music I like. My sister would have 1 hour to listen to whatever music he liked, and my brother would have 1 hour to listen to what music he liked. That's our pastime. One radio, and it would take a turn for 1 hour. And we would live, and then on the weekend we would come to my uncle's house. Of course, his house is a four-bedroom house that hold all of his family, and he have 6 or 7 kids. He have 7 kids, and plus his wife and two grandkids, and they all squeeze into a four-bedroom house already. They cannot squeeze us in there too, but then it's a house, it's their house, and they have a TV, and they have those renting movie, the Chinese renting movie since the 80s. They have a lot of renting movies there. So every weekend, all we look forward was look toward to the weekend is to come to my uncle's house and watch Chinese movie on the TV, because we don't have a TV in our apartment. Yeah, my thought about the mentions and the dress all gone. Now we have to squeeze into this one bedroom, and we would live like that for probably a year. After a year, then we my some of my other cousin come also from the camp, also from escaping from Vietnam. They come and they say, hey, why don't we rent a house and then we share? You have 2 bedroom and I have 2 bedroom. So that's when, we move from that 1 bedroom apartment into a house that we share with my uncle, my other uncle. So we have 2 room now. Me and my sister have 1 room, and my dad and my brother have 1 room. So life is becoming better. We are able to buy a TV and maybe a bicycle for my brother to drive around the neighborhood. Yeah. So that is the transitioning from the camps to the US.
Right. And at this point, how old are you?
I was in when I come to the US. I was in, was it second grade? Second grade. How old was I? I'm not sure.
So you're
Eight,
fairly young.
9,
I see.
very young. Yeah. Was it second grade or fourth grade? Maybe fourth grade. I can't remember, but I was like 10. Let me count back the step. I come here in 1985, end of November 84. So let's say 85. So I was born in 1975, 10 years old. When I come to the US, I was exactly 10 years old.